Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest GFS, GM, ECMWF, GFS ensembles, and then we'll have a look at some temperature charts as we are heading into a very warm spell. And today probably was the first proper day of that warmer spell. Do remember if you enjoy my videos, make sure you do like and subscribe, and do remember to follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description. So we're having a look at the latest GFS, and there are some interesting developments that happened over the past sort of 24 hours. As it's looking quite likely we're going to see a slow breakdown of this heat wave next week, starting in the north and the west, where we could see a scenario that was hinted in the last couple of days, but definitely does look like it's going to be quite likely now, where areas in the southeast, which are hanging onto the higher pressure, hanging onto the warm air off the continent, are going to be in mid to high 20s, whereas areas in the north and west will unfortunately be covered in cloud, coming in off the Atlantic with a little bit of rain, and temperatures dropping down to around mid teens, so sort of 15, 16 degrees, so much cooler. So we're going to see quite a big split in temperatures. So if we run through the GFS, we'll see how that evolves. You can see over the next few days, we do have warm air over the country in the southeast, heading northwards at the moment. But in areas further northwards and westwards, because we've got a westerly wind coming in off the ocean, it does mean temperatures are a bit held back, as we do have quite a strong wind. We do see a brief sort of colder insert of air move through on Friday, which is going to cool temperatures down perhaps by a degree or so, before warmer temperatures control the weather back in Saturday and Sunday and through Monday as well. You can see that low starting to drop southwards through Monday afternoon, first impacting parts of the north and the west, but you can see in the southeast we still got some very hot air, and we could still be seeing 30 degrees or so on Monday in the southeast, whereas only 14, 15 degrees further north and west. And that weather front does try and push through, but never really makes it all the way to the far south. And you can see the south always stays in sort of the 5 to 10 degree line at 850 HPA, which could mean temperatures remain above 20 degrees, whereas many other areas further northwards feeling a bit cooler. It does look like eventually the cooler air will be swept away, and we will see some fresh conditions by the end of that week. But it's interesting to see how long it takes to break down that warm air in the south and east. It does look like there will be precipitation around, but again, mainly in the north and west, as even though the cooler air does reach further south and further eastwards eventually, it does sort of, the high pressure in over Europe is sort of blocking out these lows from passing across. But again, in the south, with the warmer temperatures, it's more likely to have a few thunderstorms or so around. So as we finish the end of the run, you can see again a lot of precipitation coming in from the north and the west, mainly affecting northern areas, but could still affect southern areas, with temperatures probably returning to around average for the time of year. So nothing too pleasant, but nothing too cold at the same time. If we have a look at the GM, you can see again very similar pattern over the next few days, with that low trying to push in off the Atlantic with warm temperatures in the upper airs. Then we do get a slight cool down before Saturday and Sunday. The warm air builds in once again, getting quite hot in the south and east. But over Scotland, we're introducing some cooler air once again. And then as we head towards sort of next Wednesday, in a week's time, you can see very hot air in the southeast, but a weather front pushing that cold air away in off the Atlantic. That could form a few thunderstorms if that cold front is active, so we'll have to really keep an eye on that through later next week. Beyond that, again, we go much cooler with low pressure back in control. Again, not really cold with sort of northerly winds, but coming in off the Atlantic, so a bit of a fresher feel. But again, providing instability with warmer air close by could be a recipe for heavy showers and thunderstorms, especially further southwards and eastwards, where we're not unlikely to see the frontal rain. If we have a look at the ECMWF again, you can see we get that slight cool down on sort of Thursday, Friday, and then the warm air really builds in through Saturday and Sunday into Monday. And then in the southeast, Monday still holds on to the very hot air. Further northwards, cooler air coming in before warm air does engulf the whole UK once again by Tuesday, before being swept away quite briskly, similar to the GEM, but perhaps a day earlier, with that vigorous air of low pressure. Quite a big temperature gradient there, going from around 10 to 15 degrees at 850 HPA to 0 within the space of 500 miles or so. So we could be seeing some heavy showers, thunderstorms, and quite active rain across that. So but again, high pressure is building behind it, so we'll have to really keep an eye on that near the time, how active that rain is. And then as we head towards day 10, it does look like the Atlantic is back in control. Nothing too cold, but nothing too warm at the same time. So if we have a look at the GFS ensembles, you can see that well reflected over the next sort of week or so. Still temperatures very much above average. You see that little dip in a couple of days' time on sort of Friday. That is that cooler temperatures slipping southwards. Again, not too much of an impact in the southeast. Temperatures maybe a couple degrees cooler than they would have been either side of this small pocket of cooler air. But it's not really going to affect temperatures too much, maybe a degree or so cooler on Friday. But Saturday, Sunday, with the very high temperatures, no precipitation signals, we could be seeing some very warm conditions, getting up to around 30 degrees or so. And then we do still have a lot of uncertainty over the breakdown. Some members holding us that warm air until around for the next sort of 8 or 9 days. Others breaking it down much faster, like the GFS ensembles. But all generally are going back to around average for the last third of June. So definitely does look like it's going to be cooling down once again, with precipitation signals returning. So if we now briefly have a look at the max temperatures over the next sort of week or so, just to update you on what we could be seeing in terms of sort of how close we get to 30 degrees. So through Thursday, again, temperatures up to around 23, 24. Through Friday, 25, 26, we can see a bit cooler in the north and west as we've got that cooler slipping southwards. And then through Saturday, again, 23, 24 degrees. Perhaps the GFS has that cooler air still hanging around a little bit on Saturday, which means the temperatures are a degree or so cooler. But through Sunday, the warm air returns once again, and we could be seeing 28, 29 degrees, quite wide in the southeast, perhaps 26, 27 degrees in many parts of the Midlands, northern England, and quite warm air spreading for most of the country. Through Monday, you see cooler air coming into the north and west, but in sort of the southeast London area, hanging on to that very warm air, we could be seeing 30 degrees in London and only 14 or 15 degrees in Manchester, so a very strong temperature gradient. And then for Tuesday, again, still warm conditions in the southeast, 21, 22 degrees, but very much a big cool down before temperatures are hovering around 20 degrees for the rest of the week, perhaps high teens in many areas, maybe 20 degrees in London. So if we have a look at the GM now, again, GM's been pretty optimistic over the last few updates with temperature-wise. And you can see today it did predict around 25, 26 degrees, and that is really what we saw. I think the high was maybe 27 in a few localised spots in the southeast. Through Thursday, again showing maybe 26, 27, or even 28 degrees in East Anglia, but widely 22, 23 degrees. Through Friday, again 26, 27 degrees, and that cooler air does start to spread in Saturday. There it does look like it may suppress the temperatures, especially in sort of the Midlands, northern England. Temperatures maybe only around 21, 22 degrees, but in the southeast, holding on to that warmer air, 25, 26 degrees or so before Sunday is where we really could heat up to 28, 29 degrees quite widely. You can see that even parts of Wales getting up to 28 degrees, northeast getting up to 27 degrees, and then London, of course, always shows up really as the hot spot with 29 degrees, perhaps even getting as high as 30 degrees. Very balmy night overnight into Monday, temperatures only dropping down to around 20 degrees or so. For Monday, once again, a very hot day, getting up to around 30, 31 degrees in the southeast, quite widely as that heat intensifies, but you see cooler conditions coming in from the northwest. Again, big temperature contrast, maybe 16, 17 degrees in Liverpool and Manchester, whereas 31 degrees in London and 31 degrees in sort of Sussex, Kent, Surrey sort of area as well. And then Scotland in the northwest, only 9 or 10 degrees, so feeling very cool indeed. But then through Tuesday, we do start to see cooler conditions for most areas, only around 22, 23 degrees, still feeling pleasant, of course. And then Wednesday, only around 21, 22 degrees. But perhaps maybe getting around 24, 25 degrees in central areas as well. So feeling much cooler than what we're going to see this weekend. But still, there's still the scope for some warmer temperatures, as there always is warmer quite close to the country in the continent. So when we do get a brief ridge of high pressure between low pressure systems, it may give another very warm day of sort of 24, 25 degrees, even next week when the real heat does sort of withdraw. So if we now have a look at the icon run, if we run through Thursday, you can see again 24, 25 degrees perhaps. Friday, 23, 24, 25 once again. The icon's been very consistent with this temperature. It's not really fluctuating too much each day. Saturday again, 23, 24 degrees, again showing a little bit cooler with that cooler upper airs. Sunday, the really hot day, 27, 28, 29 degrees. So that's a record of never breaking 30 degrees on the 13th of June. It's looking like it's quite likely that it's going to be broken. Looking at these models, seeing an isolated 30 degrees or so. So yeah, Sunday very hot, quite widely, and then Monday, again, quite warm, especially in the southeast, 28 degrees. And remember, this only goes up to 12 p.m. By 3 p.m., it'll probably be 29 degrees or 30 degrees, but much cooler in the north and west. Only 13, 14 degrees in Scotland, and even 13, 14 degrees in northern Wales and northwest England. So finally, we'll have a look at the UK Met Office model. Again, this is probably the model that they use. This is the model that they use mostly for the Met Office app and in a lot of their forecasts. This is sort of the main model they look at for sort of shorter range stuff. So if we run through it, you can see through Thursday, temperatures getting up to around 24, 25, 26 degrees. It does look like there's going to be more cloud around the next couple of days, so that may sort of hold back temperatures in a few spots, but it'll probably still feel quite muggy and warm as well. We have seen a bit of cloud this evening as well, but that has slowly burnt away. Through Friday, temperatures still quite muggy overnight, and Friday in the afternoon at 25, 26 degrees, maybe even 27 degrees. Cooler air starting to come in from the northwest. And then through Saturday, again, temperatures held back a little bit, especially further northwards, only getting up to between 15 and 20 degrees. In the southeast, though, we could still see 23, 24, or maybe even 25 degrees. For Sunday is a day where it could really hot up, getting up to around 28 or maybe 29 degrees in sort of the London area, but widely 25 to 27 degrees. And then if we have a look at Monday, running through to 3 p.m, definitely showing 30 degrees in the London area, but cooler conditions are sweeping through. You can even probably see sort of the cool air coming in along the cold front, whereas only 15, 16 degrees in sort of Liverpool and Manchester, but then maybe 23, 24 degrees in sort of Birmingham area, and then 30 degrees in London. So big temperature contrast there as those cooler conditions do spread southeastwards. If we do have a look at precipitation rate, as there is the chance of a few thunderstorms over the next few days, nothing too sort of severe, but there's always the chance. You can see through Thursday, we do see some isolated thunderstorms or showers breaking out in many central areas. Perhaps some bigger thunderstorms there you can see through sort of the early afternoon before sort of decaying as we head into the evening as they spread sort of northwards and eastwards. Few weather fronts, weather front trying to push into northwest Scotland, but really fizzling out as it comes up against high pressure. And then see some patchy rain further westwards, but really decaying away. And then Friday, quite a nice day, maybe apart from northwest Scotland. And then Sunday again, very nice day. Again, apart from northwest Scotland, it is always trying to push away those weather fronts. And then through Monday, showers coming into Scotland, but most other areas remaining fairly dry. So it's very much looking like it's going to be a very nice sort of next week or so, especially further southwards and further eastwards, further northwards and further westwards. It does look like at times it could be a little bit on and off with the heat. There could be some days where you get up to 25 degrees, other days where you only get up to 16, 17 degrees and feeling a bit cooler. It's really going to depend on how those air masses do change. Again, these forecasts aren't 100% accurate, these maps aren't 100% accurate, and always can get it wrong by 50 miles or so, which could be the difference for some regions between getting up into the mid-20s and only staying around high teens or 20 degrees. So if you have seen today, you're in Liverpool, Manchester, and you've seen only 14, 15 degrees perhaps on Saturday, and then again on Monday, still could get much higher than that. It really does depend on sort of surface heating, how much sunshine you see, and how much of those cooler upper airs do spread further southwards and eastwards. So it just really have to be a nowcast situation. I do definitely think the models do underdo temperatures sometimes, so even though it does say 15, 16 degrees, it perhaps could even get up to 20 degrees. And same in the London area where it says only 27, 28 degrees on some models. I do certainly believe it's going to get up to around 30 degrees or so at the peak. But after that, definitely does look like it's going to be turning much cooler from the north and west, spreading to most areas by the middle of next week. Still can't rule out a nice day here or there, but it definitely does look like things are going to be cooling down and turning a bit more cloudy and probably more showery as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.